And we are on. Thank you for tuning in. It is Roselyne of rarebyRoselyne.com. I show up online to help you improve your home, your hope, your health, and your happiness. And today is Thursday. It is tea sipping Thursday. This is a ginger tea, and ginger has so many medicinal properties. And in the Haitian culture, we consume a lot of ginger tea. This one is not as strong as when I just brew it, when I just make the tea with the actual root itself. But nevertheless, this is what I'm sipping in my mom fuel glass. Let me know if you what would you put inside of a mom fuel glass, especially at this time in the day. For me, it's tea. We had great adventures today, out and about. But I really wanted to come on here. You all know on Thursdays, it gets a little interesting on my page because we talk about things that most people would consider, you and I, we talk about things that most people would consider controversial, but I think it's adults having adult conversation, especially since we are at a time of year that we are preparing and we're listening to a lot of people tell us a lot of things, sell us a lot of dreams on what they're going to do for us. But I really want to talk to you and find out where you are at with things, and not to convince you or to have you try to convince me, but I posted something earlier that really just kind of touched the surface when it comes to environment, border control or patrol, and gun rights. So it just kind of like touched the surface. We didn't even go in depth. It just kind of touched the surface. Aside from the very last line of that post that I posted, and it was a meme, so to speak, of words from Candace Owen. Besides the fact that it came from her, and I'm the one who posted, I want to know, what are your thoughts on the environment, border, and gun rights? I really want to know where you stand on it. And the reason I want to know is I want to be aware of my surroundings, who's with me, who's not with me, so to speak. And when I say who's with me, there's a lot of fights that I'm fighting. There's a lot of fights that people on my page are fighting when it comes to our individual freedoms. So I just want to know, in this fight, who's with me. And if you see me move and you see glitter on my face, this is not the look that I was going for. I went out with the kids earlier and I tried washing my face and it still won't come off. We went to this thing. It was about safety, and the sheriff's office threw it, and I decided to participate with my kids. And I'll go ahead and post a picture. I participated with my kids and I did a face painting, and it was just the glitter is remaining, and Safari Rose is getting fussy. But I don't know if you've ever noticed this in the background. Some videos is there, some videos is not. But have you ever noticed this in the background of my videos? What do you see that it says? Can you see what this says? I know it's backwards for you, but can you see what it says? I'll give you a chance. Type it out if you can see what it says. Type it out if you can see what it really says. I know it's kind of hard to read it backwards. You see it? Do you see what it says? What was the first thing that you saw when you saw this? Did you see the believe there is good in the world? Or did you see the part where it says be the good in the world? And it goes back to this whole conversation that we're having on this tea sipping Thursday, where it's important for you to understand that the good that you want to see in the world has to start with you. My niece, she commented on the post earlier today and stated something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing, and I shouldn't have to paraphrase. You know, if you give me a second, I'll be able to tell you exactly what my niece said in the comment of the post. Good thing I don't live in a gated community, fly private planes. I'm not a fan of guns, period. And Trump is in ASS. People who support Trump only care about themselves. And then someone asked for clarification. They said, do you actually believe that all people who support Trump only care about themselves? Do you actually know Roselyne or myself? I know for a fact that that is an untrue statement. I bring that up because we went on, my computer is about to die, I should have probably plugged it in, and she says yes, she's known me my entire life because she's my niece, so I've known her entire life. And the policy, she talks about the policies and whatnot. And if you were to go back to that, I ask, because she says that my views, this is the quote, some of Trump's behaviors are against Roselyne's beliefs, but here we are. So I asked about the beliefs, and I kind of highlighted and talked about who I am as an individual, and her exact words were, Roselyne, not selfish with physical items, giving monetary values, or sharing knowledge. Selfish in the policies benefit you, forget those who are not like you. And I bring that up to say that I really am trying my best to believe there's good in the world and to be the good in the world. My track record basically states that I am trying to be the good in the world. So my question to you is, what can you do for the world? What can you do for your community? What can you do for your house? What can you start at home and share into the world? Because at the end of the day, what we want to see in the world, the good we want to see in the world, we have to be that. We have to be that. And not everybody's going to agree with your approach and how you do it, or your ideologies, or why you do it, but you have to have that kind of conviction and know that the way that I'm walking about in the world is actually for good. I'm not doing it in a divisive way, I should say. I'm sorry, not decisive. In a divisive way. I'm not, Jabari, can you stop that? I'm not doing it to divide people. I'm doing it because I feel that it is good. So that's why I open these dialogues. Otherwise, I would just keep it to myself and keep moving, doing these things. But I open these dialogues between you and I so that we can see how we can be good in the world. And the way that I choose to be good might be different from the way that you choose to be good. But I feel that if we really link arms, regardless of, okay, maybe I might vaccinate and you might not vaccinate. Maybe I'll hold the gun and you won't hold the gun. Maybe maybe you won't drink bottled water and maybe I will drink bottled water. Whatever the case may be. But we know that we're working towards something. That doesn't mean that if you don't drink bottles of water and I drink bottles of water, that if you see a bottle on the ground, that you won't pick it up. It's the same concept. Maybe if you don't believe in gun rights, that doesn't mean that if I have a gun, I'm not going to protect you if something happened to you. You see what I mean? So I think that it is important for you to be able to come to terms with, what can you do? What is your contribution to the good in the world going to be? And understand that I took myself out of focus by bringing this into the frame. But understand that what is your good going to be in the world? And then you just kind of go from there. So that's really what I wanted to come on here and share for Tea Sipping Thursday. And get used to it, because on Thursdays it's going to be a little controversial. And it might make you uncomfortable. It doesn't make me uncomfortable, because I realize if you're not for it, you're not for it. If you're not for me, you're not for me. And then we'll just kind of keep it moving. So it's not a big deal. It's no sweat off my back. It's not taking energy away from me. It's just, this is part of the content that I'm choosing to create and stand behind. That we're going to have these uncomfortable conversations because we're adults. And adults should have uncomfortable conversations and then grow and learn from them. So that's really what I wanted to share. As always, reward yourself every day by making healthy lifestyle choices. And I'll meet you in the comment section. Bye.